Hello, Irish Nation. Welcome to another episode of the Golden Domer Homer podcast. I am your host, Robin Yeaber, here again with Tyler D., the prognosticator.
Howdy.
And the Cub, Kenny Ball.
Hello.
He's got quite a background going on today. Oh, yeah.
Very good suck. My favorite week of the year.
Yep.
Always love this week, whether it comes late November or mid-October. So,
yeah, it's definitely a big week. Is it the tidy sound that's not there?
Say what?
Yeah, tidy. Who's got the sound problem? Is it?
Your audio setup is causing an echo.
Is it mine? Oh, we're good now. Okay, cool. So, Tidy, start us off.
Yeah, so the Irish escaped Blacksburg. I think all three of us had it as our trap games. 3-point win. John Doerr's leg saves the day on the road, and ACC opponent again. I mean, I still don't know who the quarterback is. Cone looked like the hero, but without Buckner, I don't think they're in that position. I don't know what you guys think, but
yeah, that week it definitely did not help the quarterback questions we've all had for the last few weeks with Buckner coming in looking like a star, planned or not planned, because I truly believe that the plan was to put him in for his package, and he just turned out to do better than they thought he'd do, and they just wrote it out. And
Yeah, I thought he played well coming in there. You know, he rolls his ankle or something happens to his ankle. I don't think he was pulled from the game for those last drives. Like Ty said, Cone looks like the hero, but Buckner, I don't think you're in that situation without him. So I think we're starting to see, maybe a little later than we wanted to. We're starting to get a little better. The O-line wasn't horrendous. In fact, I saw after a sack in the first quarter, they didn't allow another tackle for loss the whole game. So overall, they're getting better.
Yeah, that was a very encouraging stat, that the tackles for loss one, where the offensive line looked much better this game, like much improved.
yeah, absolutely. Like you guys said, I think they're getting better. I think the defense is getting more used to Freeman stuff too. We're seeing improvement there. I was definitely nervous they were going to lose going into it, even going back to August. And a road win is a road win.
Yeah, and the defense, it had its moments of suffering against the mobile quarterback, but there were just minor issues here and there that turned into big plays. Touchdown run really looked worse than it was. Pick six added to their point total. The defense didn't give up as many once again as it looked like, but I think the defense is nothing to worry about at all. I'm excited for what they can offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest question is now, like we said, who's the quarterback moving forward? Sounds like Kelly's pretty set on Cone. We've seen Pine play well. We've seen Buckner play well. So I think, you're still going to see those sets this week for Buckner, but, I wish we would pick one and stick with it. It's getting a little old here pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I think I just looking at the second half schedule, they're going to be favored in every game and theoretically should win out. They're a little shaky, so who knows? But I think if you drop one or two more games, you punt on Cone and get Buckner some experience. And I get you play to win the game, as Herm Edwards would say, but you got to look at next year too. Cone ain't going to be on the team, and it's good to get Buckner some live reps. I think he's the guy moving forward. I think they've made that pretty clear, which stinks for Drew Pine because he really hasn't done anything bad. I think Buckner's the guy.
And I know it's been all over Twitter, but I wouldn't mind seeing with the Buckner and Cone thing a little bit of a Tommy Reese and Everett Olson type of relationship where it's Buckner until, we see some flustered or we need a big situation where it's a big drive, 2-minute offense or something, and it's time to bring Cone in and let him spread it out and throw it around. But I don't know what the answer is, but I'm just not sure where Drew Pine went in the whole conversation, because it wasn't 3 weeks ago we were talking about Drew Pine being the answer. So kind of feel bad for that kid.
I would have bet my bottom dollar he would have been the starter against Virginia Tech, and sure wasn't. Glad I didn't.
Yeah, I'm still not sure what he did that week to not get to start. I mean, he must be the worst practice player in the history of the earth.
Maybe. So just looking at the first half, obviously we've talked a lot about what needs to improve, where we're at. I think, they're getting better. We'll see a lot on Saturday. If I had to give a prediction for the rest of the year, I think they're definitely going to win out. Or they're not definitely going to win out, but I think they'll win out. The scariest game I think left on that schedule is the trip to Stanford.
Which is crazy, because at the beginning of the year we thought that was going to be a kind of a cakewalk game.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to say we're definitely going to win out, but I can't pick the game that I think we'd lose. I don't know which one that I would pick us to lose if I was going to pick one. I mean, if you had to force me to, I'd pick Stanford, but I don't think we're going to lose any of them. We could lose one, but I'd pick us to win them all.
I mean, I thought North Carolina, I was so excited. I'm going there with some buddies. I thought that was going to be like a top 10 game, and now it's like North Carolina's what, 4-3? Yikes.
Yeah, looking rough too.
I had that one scheduled at the beginning of the year, and now it's like now we're talking about Stanford week 12.
Oh, geez. I was talking about USC potentially being our toughest game on the schedule at the beginning of the year, and now they're looking like they might be
they don't even have their head coach.
Yeah. They don't have much.
KB, who's your scariest game on the rest of the remainder?
Oh, I don't know. Traveling to Stanford's tough. There's not one really left that I would say scares me. North Carolina has not been great, but Howell's pretty good. They can score, so that one's kind of circled. But it's a night game in Notre Dame Stadium. If I look back on the first half of the year, you're 5-1. We lost to Cincinnati, who's now the second best team in the country, they're saying. For us, it's a little different because we're from the area, and losing to UC, it just didn't sit well. But I think if we would have lost to someone that wasn't UC, it completely changes our perception on the first half. I mean, you look at Notre Dame, they've been really bad at times. We've seen improvement, but they found a way to win games. I mean, there's nothing else. And that's, I think, a tribute to Kelly. Kelly has always been that way. He finds a way to win games. Like I said, I think 5-1 is definitely good. Your over-under at the beginning of the year was sitting at 9. So you're on pace. You're well on pace there. But I agree. I think coming into the year, these next two games were ones that we had circled, and now it's kind of like Notre Dame's going to be a touchdown favorite in both games. And so you wonder, going on the road's always hard. I know, Ty, you and I will be in Virginia. That shouldn't be a tough game, but sometimes that's a game that Notre Dame kind of plays down to the level of the opponent.
And their quarterback is legit. That Armstrong kid, he's a good He's a good football player.
He's a big dude, lefty, Virginia. Yeah. And Bronco Mendenhall's still the coach. He's a good coach. He was out at BYU for a while. So I still think I would say North Carolina. I know they're 4-3, but I think they can score. Mac Brown's a pretty good coach, typically. But I see 11-1 in a New Year's Six bowl. I don't know that Notre Dame fans need to be very frustrated about that. Think about the years that we were. The year that always comes to my mind was Jimmy Clausen's freshman year, 2007. 3-9. I mean, think about where we were earlier in our lifetime, and now it's consistently 9, 10, 12 wins a year. I can't complain about the first half, to be honest with you.
And on that note, I'm pretty sick of the whole college football world acting like if you're not in the playoff, it doesn't matter. Because for some reason, when there's 4 teams in a playoff, it ruins all the rest of the bowl games. When it was just 2 teams playing for national title, it didn't do – it's not like being the best non-playoff bowl game. That means something still. It's still a big football game. I don't know where where that went. I'm confused.
And I think it can build momentum into next year. So, like I said, how do you complain? If you finish 11-1, you go play for a bowl, you finish 12-1. I mean, how can you what's wrong with that? Kelly continues to win football games, and we can say what we want about Jack Cohn, and it's not the right decision, but they're going out there. He's won 5. He's won 5. So
He can play 5 quarterbacks as long as they win. I don't care.
So,
and honestly, how many games can we chalk up to Jack Cohn leading the game-winning drive for too? With that, I mean, the Toledo game we lose without Cohn. He just won that one. Florida State. I mean, Jack Cohn's been
made good plays, and we don't know what's going on in practice every week. So, I think he's taken a lot of heat from a lot of people whose records are 0-0. They say, "Well, I've never lost a game." Yeah, you never won one either. No one's calling for Tyler D to be the head coach.
You'd be surprised.
I'm just using that as an example, but
I do well.
There are a lot of people, and I am one of them that was a critic. But you look back and you reflect on that first half, and you're 5-1 against.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with you on the UC bias thing too. I mean, think about if that's you're 5-1 with the loss to number 2 Auburn or number 2 Florida or number 2 Penn State. Just change the name; it changes the perspective completely. I mean,
you do got to make them a group of 5, though.
You do, sure.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, you lose to
number 2 BYU
or something, or Boise State or something.
Yeah.
But really, and because we're from Cincinnati, we kind of have that perspective of we should, and we still think we should win that game. But look, they're good. They got their best team they've ever had. So, I think past years Notre Dame beats them, but it is what it is. We are who we are this year, and let's just get some momentum heading into next year.
And I'd like to think if we rematch that game, I'd like to think we'd got a good shot at beating them. So,
yeah. All right. Well, looking ahead, bye weeks suck. I mean, I was bored as heck on Saturday. It was kind of nice to relax and watch football and not really care about what was really happening. But definitely miss watching Notre Dame. Opponents-wise, Purdue, they're the king of the hill this week, beating number 2 Iowa in Iowa City. I mean, wow. Nobody saw that coming, including Vegas. I don't know what – I think they were 24-point dogs. UC continues to win, blew out UCF at home. UVA blows out Duke. Wisconsin squeaks by Army, which had to be the most boring football game ever to watch. North Carolina beats Miami, who's not good. Toledo loses in overtime to Central Michigan. Stanford loses to Washington State by 3. Virginia Tech gets blown out at home by Pitt. And then Navy looks like the worst team on the schedule this year. They're 1-5, lost to Navy last Thursday. Florida State, USC, of course, and Georgia Tech.
Hold on. Navy lost to Navy?
Navy lost to Memphis. I apologize. Well, lost to Memphis on Thursday. Got a little ahead there. Florida State, USC, and Georgia Tech all sat at home, as did Notre Dame. Impacts the strength of schedule. What you guys think? I mean,
probably the best week for the strength of schedule that we've had in a little while.
Yeah, I mean, we went 5-4.
Our best team won.
I hope your boy Xavier Nwampa was watching the game.
Yeah, me very badly. Hope he was watching. I'm hoping he decided to make his decision based on that game. That's why he announced it.
Like
December 8th. December 8th.
I was going to say beginning of December.
We got a couple big dates coming up, actually.
That's 3 days before the Notre Dame UK basketball game.
Ooh.
Who else do we have? Someone soon, aren't they?
Zach Rice, October 21st. He is a 5-star number 1 offensive tackle in the country, number 7 nationally. His does not have any crystal balls, and he's down to it looks like Alabama, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Virginia, and North Carolina. But yeah, he's pretty much he's a pretty closed book. Zach Rice is. I mean, for some reason, I'm thinking North Carolina has a weird edge, but I'd love to pull that one out.
Where's he from?
North Carolina area. I think he's from North Carolina is what it is.
Gotcha.
You got that right then.
Yeah.
While we're on recruiting, you got any?
No, he's from Virginia, Lynchburg, Virginia. But
close to North Carolina.
He'd be a big win for Jeff Quinn. That would be a potentially, I don't want to call it like a job saver, but like a job solidifier for him in the recruiting trail.
You got anything else recruiting wise?
No, not really. And we got a lot of guys getting their invites to the All-American game. They used to be called the U.S. Army All-American Bowl. It's now just the All-American game.
Hey, is it a big recruiting weekend this weekend? Usually it is. We got a lot of guys coming on.
Yeah, it's a big one. Yeah, Xavier Wonk will be there actually.
Right.
Speaking of him, I think we got a lot of recruits coming back that were there. What weekend was it? The UC weekend. I think we're going to have quite a few returners.
Cool.
I haven't really seen a huge list. It's not as big of a list as that weekend was. That weekend was insane. I know we pretty much had everybody there for that one. But the big name is Xavier Wonk. He's the number one on the board, pretty much number one left for either year. But him and Zach Rice. And I think Hero Canoe actually is heating up at the moment. Actually, he's in California, kid from Germany, 5-star D tackle kid. Wasn't really on our board until the decommit from Darren Agu. We'll see what happens with him. But
Yep.
He pretty much has all the massive schools after him: Bama, Texas, Ohio State.
West Coast schools or no?
No, not so much West Coast schools. He's pretty much just got the blue bloods.
I gotcha.
The Bamas, the Clemsons, Ohio State, Texas, yeah, Notre Dame. I'm sure SC's got an offer in,
Sure.
but they're hurting. SC's hurting.
They'll be hurting more in a week.
Hope so.
Hope.
KB, as far as news around college football, you got anything? Obviously, we just we touched on the biggest upset. Iowa going down to Purdue.
A lot. Edo out at LSU. ESPN throwing names around. I just wanted to go through that list. I think some of them are pretty interesting. Jimbo. I don't see him leaving A&M, but that's on there.
LSU cannot pay that buyout. There's
Chris
no
Ball at Oregon. James Franklin at LSU. Mark Stoops from Kentucky. Mel Tucker. I think they're going to go in there and get him. He's done a nice job at Michigan State.
Nick Saban came from Michigan State.
Lane Kiffin. Dave Aranda from Baylor. Luke Fickle.
I hadn't thought about Aranda. I like Aranda.
Billy Napier. And the last one I think is interesting. Joe Brady, who left LSU to go be an OC for the Panthers, but he was the OC the year they won it with Burrow.
Yeah, I'd like to see Brady. I'd like to see Brady or Aranda come back.
That's a Gus Malzahn replacing Gene Chizik scenario right there.
Yeah. And the other thing I have from college football is Tennessee fans are idiots.
Yeah.
That is a disgrace what went on down there this weekend.
$250,000 fine.
It should have been $1 million fine, and probably about 250,000 people arrested.
Yeah.
But
the SEC didn't sell alcohol for 85 years.
There's no way. There's just no justification for it. Say what you want about the players going down and them not being injured or whatever. There's just no place in college football for that. And then I think, Ty, I might be stealing your thunder, or maybe Robbie, but one of you has BYU this week, right? Playing Washington State?
No.
Yeah.
As of today, Washington State's head coach is out.
I saw that vaccine.
He refused the vaccine, and they told him to get out. So that could, have some betting implications for this weekend, and we'll see how that goes. But that's what I had. I think the biggest thing is what went on at Tennessee, and you just can't have that in college football. And
I can tell you, Mark Stoops is not taking the LSU job. He's got the cushiest job in the history of college football.
He
You win 7 games there, you're a hero.
He's going to win 11 this year.
I know. He went 2-10, and they put a Maker's Mark and put him on a Maker's Mark bottle.
I agree. I don't know. Money talks.
Yeah.
Speaking of money talks, does LSU go for the Iowa State stud Matt Campbell.
You mean Nick Saban? The king of 8-5 up there.
Yeah.
Matt Campbell.
Hey, his name gets mentioned in every other job.
I know.
No, that's funny.
I don't know if
I
you're being
agree. I
serious or
think
not, but
I think I'd like to see Joe Brady go back there. See if he can the program.
I agree. I think that'd be the best choice, and I think it'd be fun. I think that'd be a fun choice. And I love when I enjoyed watching LSU dominate college football the one year they did it. I thought that LSU team was super fun to watch.
it's definitely a big risk, though, because he's never been a college football coach before, right? Head coach.
I'm surprised Brian Kelly's name's not on there.
Oh, I'm sure it'll come up
Just for
eventually.
the clicks.
It'll come up for Nebraska when Scott Frost gets fired.
So
He'll be on the make him say no list. That's what he was on last time. The make him say no, as if he was going to go to the rival of the team he was at.
Yeah, he's in the twilight of his coaching career. I don't think he needs a new challenge.
Yeah, he's going to go to a rebuild.
Yeah, he rebuilt the mess that Charlie Weiss left, and that's good enough for me. Probably for him too.
So
you guys
moving
ready to
along
talk
here.
about the Trojans.
Yeah,
All right,
they suck.
break it down, Tidy.
they do suck. 7:30 kick, NBC, Notre Dame Stadium under the lights. We'll all three be there. I'm very excited about it already,
yeah.
and it's only Monday.
Love me a 7:30 kick.
Oh yeah,
Cannot wait.
Plenty of tailgate time. Early lines got the Irish by 7. I love that. We'll get more into that later. 91st overall meeting, Notre Dame leads 49-37 with 5 ties. Interim head coach is Dante Williams. They're 2-2 with him at the helm. Clay Helton got fired after the week 2 loss to Stanford.
Unfortunately.
Robbie, you get to go to South Bend for the first time this season. What are your thoughts on the game, buddy?
I'm really excited to watch our run game finally get going against this defense that cannot tackle. So with that and our defense, I'm pretty confident that it should be a good performance for the Irish this weekend. Kenny Ball.
I'll tell you, I'm excited for the foliage.
There will be. It'll look like my background.
Just like Guy's background.
There will be some nice foliage.
It will be great. Nothing better than South Bend in October. Just looking forward to getting back up there. Good day. Like I said, love 7:30 kicks. Weather's supposed to be nice. And let's go out there and just take care of business. And I saw they are going to go with Slovis, it looks like. So let's go out there. Let's score. We got to start scoring the ball a little bit. How nice would it be for Notre Dame to walk out of here 35-14?
Oh yeah,
with never a doubt. Be nice
2017 when they beat them 49-14. That's my favorite.
That was a great night. That was a great night. I remember my roommate was my best man at my wedding, Michigan fan. They played Penn State that night, and they got beat as bad as we beat USC, and it was just a total. We had 2 TVs up and everything else. It was a great opposite. Yeah, it was great.
It would just be nice to have one of those games this year where we're not biting our nails late and just kind of comfortable sitting in there and bring a coat. It's probably going to get chilly, Ty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for you especially, Tyler D.
I'm ready for it. I got beanies. Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to win by 17. Look at USC's schedule. They haven't won or lost a close game, and I don't think they're going to come and blow Notre Dame out at home.
What happened? Was it Oregon State that put it on them at home?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now they do have the second longest winning streak in the country on the road behind Notre Dame. Fun fact. But 8 games for them. I think Notre Dame is 10 or 11.
On
Maybe
the road?
more. Yeah.
Well, I guess that makes sense because they lost.
Their lost road loss was at Georgia.
Really?
Well,
yeah.
If you don't include,
not including a bowl game. Yeah, 2 road games.
I didn't know that. That's an interesting fact.
Here's one for you.
Give me a prediction on this game.
Well, I was just going to say, either way, it's been 1,786 days since USC beat Notre Dame in football. So that's
When's
always
the last time they beat us? 16?
2016.
the bad year.
Yeah. And beat us at
In
home
that
since
game, and in
2011.
that game, Nika Fertitta lit their running back up. Got called for a BS targeting, if you guys can remember that. That was when our player kicked their guy down. It was a
Oh,
bad
yeah,
one.
we were out there.
Oh, it was
That's
Jerry
right.
Tillery.
Yeah, Tillery kicked their guy's helmet, but Nico Fertitta lit him up, and it was legal. Should not have been a targeting. He was not defenseless. He was a running back.
We got to do something about targeting in college football. Ty, prediction, Irish 35-14. I'm going to stay with that same score.
Nice. Roberto, what are you thinking?
Irish 37, Trojans 21. Trojans score a garbage touchdown to make it that way. It should be 37-14. Beat down. We're comfortable.
Yep.
Kyle gets his pick 6 this week.
Michael Mayer, 2 touchdowns.
27-10 Notre Dame. That's my pick because that's easy math when I said by 17.
Yeah.
So, hey, 27-10. Jack Cohn accounts for 5 touchdowns, right, Ty?
Right. That's what I was going to say.
That's
I
right.
was going to say 25-14, and Jack Cohn throws 4 touchdowns.
And Buckner comes in for 2 more.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good
Bold
stuff.
predictions. Go ahead.
Let's get in there. Let's just sit back and let's stay comfortable this week.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking my bold predictions for this week. I was thinking Kyle Hamilton gets his pick 6. I don't know if that's considered bold or not, but on the offensive side of the ball, I'm going Kyron Williams, 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 receiving. That's what I'm sticking with.
I got Mayer, 2 touchdowns. I'm going back with Cam Hart. Cam Hart.
Give me a strip sack. I don't know who by, but let's say Foskey.
Has Cam Hart been the defensive MVP so far this year? He's right there, right? It's close. I mean, you got Foskey and Kyle, but
yeah, Bertrand's been good too.
Oh, he's been good.
Bertrand's been the unsung hero.
But I mean, you're right. Cam Hart's played great. They've had a different guy step up every week. It feels like.
I just feel like Cam Hart has been the one that has not had a bad play yet. He hasn't had like Kyle Hamilton's been great, but he had that one bad where the underthrown ball where he got exposed against UC. The last drive with Bertrand against UC. Foskey's had a couple bad plays, but it's not really his fault. It just feels like Cam Hart's just been steady.
Cam Hart gave up that he had that missed tackle in the open field that gave up that Virginia Tech touchdown.
Yeah, he did do that. I'll give you that. He's a corner, though. He's a corner, so
flavor of the week, Yeah. All right. Well, you guys want to pick some other games?
I'm down.
All right. Well, didn't think I'd ever be saying this, but Clemson, and this is as of yesterday, was a 3-point dog going to Pittsburgh.
Your boy, Ty. Pat Narduzzi.
Pat Narduzzi, the biggest Notre Dame hater of all time. Kenny Ball, pick this game.
Give me Pitt. Pickett's been playing well. Clemson just looks dreadful. You keep thinking every week they're going to turn it around. Can't ever seem to cover. I like Pitt.
Yep. I'm with Kenny Ball completely. I'm going Pitt. I can't believe Clemson's best running back is Will Shipley, who apparently chose Clemson over Notre Dame because he wanted to play earlier, which is mind-blowing. You would never think that'd be the case.
Well, it ended up happening.
They did and he knew it would happen because they didn't. Yeah. Apparently, they did not have a running back left behind Etienne. They didn't have one. I think Pittsburgh actually has a halfway decent offense. I mean, they're not good by any means, but Kenny Pickett can sling the ball a little bit, and Clemson can't score.
Yeah, it seems like the first one to 13 will win that game.
Yeah, I was going to say 17-14 Pitt.
Yeah. I'm going to pick Clemson because I can't stand Pat Narduzzi for that reason alone.
No other analysis needed.
If I like Dabo at all, I'd be with you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care for him much either, but yeah, Pat Narduzzi's a big crybaby. He always has been ever since he was the DC at Michigan State. Clemson's going to have their best offensive performance. of the season against his defense that everybody loves to talk about. All right, moving on.
So they're going to score 3 touchdowns? Is that 3 touchdowns for Clemson?
Yeah, exactly.
Big game.
Probably is. All right, Wake Forest, who is the best team by record in the ACC, goes to West Point. 3-point favorites. Robbie, who you like?
I'm going to go ahead and take Wake. I think their offense puts up too many points for Army to keep up. Other than that, I don't think it's going to be a defensive showcase.
KB?
I like Wake, and I'm making Wake my lock of the week at -3. I like Dave Clawson. I think they improved to 7-0. They have some big games down the stretch, but I'll tell you what, that's one of those, if Wake goes undefeated, what happens?
Yeah.
Power 5 team, undefeated in their conference. They go undefeated for the year. What do you do with them? So that's going to be interesting, but I think Wake wins this one to go 7-0 and get some momentum headed into the final stretch there.
Wake versus Georgia, first round of the college football playoffs.
I don't like Wake's chances, but honestly, that's my question. What happens if someone like Wake goes undefeated this year?
It'd be unprecedented.
To not put them in.
Yeah, you have to.
13-0 Wake versus 13-0 UC.
That'd be something. That'd be the lowest viewed college football playoff game ever.
Just let UC play Georgia, please.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving on. Wake, by the way.
I was going to say, what's Tidy's pick?
I think Wake big.
What do you guys think the line would be in the Georgia-UC game?
I mean, I think Kentucky's every bit as good, as not better than UC, and they were 23.5-point dogs.
18.5.
I don't think it would be 3 touchdowns. I agree with Robbie. Maybe 18.5.
Yeah.
Well, let me just tell you, I would bet money on that game.
Yeah.
And I would not take UC.
All right. 2 Big Ten West teams Notre Dame's beaten. Wisconsin goes to Purdue off their big upset win over Iowa as a 3-point favorite. I'll lead this off and take Purdue at home. I can't believe they're dogs. Wisconsin's done nothing to impress me. Graham Mertz stinks. Purdue at home. Kenny.
I'm going to go with Purdue, too. They throw the ball really well, or they did last week. David Bell had a big game. I only know that because us from Cincinnati, there's not a David Bell that lives here that ever has a big game.
Yeah.
And I like Purdue to beat Wisconsin and throw it all over them.
Not sure where we stand in the records, but I know I'm probably making up another game or two here on picks. I like Purdue's big win, but I think this is a classic letdown game for him, and I'm going to go ahead and take Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin comes out and gets their 1 win for the year here. So I think they come out and play big and take it from them on the road.
All right. I have this as a pick'em as of last night. It might have changed, but I doubt it's changed much. Chip Kelly playing his old team. Oregon goes to the Rose Bowl to play UCLA. Roberto, who you like?
I'll just go ahead and take the home team. I have no reason. I think it's going to be a good game. I really like a lot of the Wisconsin players, but with the injuries they've suffered on offense, I think the Bruins can hang on. And Zach Charbonnet.
Hold on. You like the Wisconsin players, so you're taking UCLA.
I said Zach Charbonnet, right?
Yeah, but you said Wisconsin. You like Wisconsin's players.
I was reading. And it was on. I like Oregon's players, but they're injured. My fault.
No, you're good. I'm just messing with you.
I like the Oregon offense, but I think their running backs out, right? I think they're starting running backs out.
They're hurt. I'm with you.
Their defense is really strong still. They still have that Thibodeau who's been making people look like idiots. But I think Charbonnet runs them over. I don't know. It's going to be a tough game. I'm taking UCLA.
2 picks for the Bruins.
Make that 3. Chip Kelly gets revenge from the Ducks.
All right. Syracuse going to Virginia Tech as a 4.5-point favorite. A little bit of a head scratcher, if you ask me. Virginia Tech did not look good. They're a little beat up. Got crushed by Pitt last week. I am going to go ahead and pick Virginia Tech at home. And I think they're going to cover, or not cover. They're going to beat that and beat Syracuse by 10 to 14 points.
Oh, Robbie?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and agree with Tyler D here and make my lock of the week prediction with Virginia Tech. I just think they're going to crush Syracuse. I think Syracuse is not good. I don't know why this is where it's at. Way too small of a line for me.
I'm going to do a little bit of 1 second here. Put this up. All right. I'm going to go with Syracuse in this game. They can score some points. I think Virginia Tech is a dumpster fire. I think Fuente's on his way out. You just kind of hope he doesn't lose the team. They just got blown out last week by Pittsburgh. Syracuse has played some close. They've had some games that were close. They did lose to Florida State. They've lost their last 3, actually. They lost to Florida State, Wake, and Clemson by a total of 9 points. I think that turns around this week, and they get a win on the road in Blacksburg, which will be a big win for them moving forward.
All right, let's pick a little Wednesday night fun belt, too. Coastal Carolina, 4-point favorites going to Boone to play App State. KB. Chanticleers versus Mountaineers. Who you got?
I got to go with the Chants. They have they got a good offense. They score a lot of points. Might see an over here. Let's see, what is that over under? 59.5. I'm going to go with the Chants to win a shootout in that game.
I got the Mountaineers defending their home turf in Boone.
Yeah.
No research. No reason. Picking the home team.
I'm going to agree with Kenny Ball here. I'm taking Coastal. McCall has got 14 touchdowns to 1 interception on the year. App State is giving up 240 yards passing and 140 yards on the ground. I think Coastal goes ahead and puts it on them, wins by 2 touchdowns. We'll see, though.
Well, hopefully the Mountaineers pull it out and I can pad my lead. Do I still have a lead, KB? What are our standings at?
Yeah, where are we sitting at? We didn't go over that.
Yeah, we're standing I'm 23-14 on the year. Robbie, you're 22-15. Ty is 24-13. So there's 2 games separating us all.
Yeah.
We're all doing pretty decent.
So we're pretty close. Year-to-date locks. I'm 3-3. Robbie's 4-2. Ty, you're 0-6. So go ahead and pick against them. That's pathetic.
Well, this is the one. I've said that 6 times now, but this really is. I can feel it. BYU -2 going to Washington State. Washington State's coach just got fired, as we said, for not getting a COVID shot. I think it's going to be in disarray. I think BYU's coming off a loss to who last week? It'll come to me eventually, but they're going to go to Washington State and win.
They haven't played Boise this past week, did they?
No. I can't remember who they lost to.
I'm looking.
That's a really rough time for you last week, Teddy. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. That's true.
Well, I'm going to be 1-6, and BYU's going to take me there. And another bold prediction, I'm going to finish the year at 6-6.
Oh.
Calling my shot right now.
Do you want to bet me on that?
No. Can't bet legally in Kentucky, so that'd be illegal. How about you? What's your lock?
I think Robbie and we both locked in in the picks.
Yeah, I took Virginia Tech.
Plus 4.5, right?
Yep.
I got Wake -3 at Army. I just think they score too many points. Now, Super Dogs, Robbie, you and I only have 2 points. Ty has 5 for the year. We all lost our Super Dog last week, 2 weeks ago, I guess.
Yeah, who was my super dog 2 weeks ago? I think it went poorly.
I did. It was South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Tennessee.
Yeah, they got embarrassed. They got embarrassed.
So did Illinois. They didn't score a point against Wisconsin. And Stanford, I think they got beat pretty good too.
Yeah. They were tied through most of the game and then choked away in the fourth quarter.
How about my lock that week? I had Oklahoma -3, and instead of kicking a field goal and it pushing, they take it to the house on the last play of the game and they win. They beat Texas by 7 points.
That was an unbelievable game, and I can't believe it happened. I really can't believe that game happened.
That game was so fun to watch.
That game and the Arkansas game were insane.
Yeah, Arkansas was fun to watch. And then you had Iowa -2. I think they played
Penn State.
They played Penn State that week.
Yep.
They won that game. So those were our picks for the other week. So Superdog, Ty, who you like for your Superdog this week?
Got LSU +12. Edo's leaving. I think the boys are going to play for him.
And who do they got?
Ole Miss. Huh?
At Ole Miss?
Yes. I believe. I don't know. But Ole Miss looked beat up. They just played a very tough game against Tennessee. They had golf balls and water bottles and mustard getting thrown at them.
Who brings a whole bottle of mustard into a football game?
I mean, so I have a theory that they sell hot dogs in Neyland Stadium, and somebody just hates the little packets so much that they're probably doing because of COVID that they brought their own mustard. Not the wildest take, I don't think. But regardless, the boys are going to play for Edo, and I don't know if they're going to win, but they're going to keep it close.
Yeah, I like it. Who you got, Kenny?
I got Oklahoma State +7 in Ames.
Which is ridiculous.
Go ahead and give me that, and I'll probably sprinkle a little on the money line, to be honest with you. Iowa State's not good. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go put money on that tomorrow.
I like Oklahoma State +7 in that one.
Yeah. I'm going to roll with Colorado in the pillow fight against California. They're 9-point underdogs, and I think the 1-5 California team's getting too much respect there. So that's the only reason why I'm going with that.
Probably
Is Colorado 1-5 too?
They're 2-4.
Probably because Cal played with Oregon a little bit last week.
That might be the only reason.
So
I just don't think either team wins by more than 3. So
that's fair. That's a good Superdog pick then. We'll see. Of course, we're always confident in our picks, and then
goes south real quick.
6-6. I'm going 500.
We just hope Nick Saban's good friends with Ed Orgeron and takes care of Tennessee this week at home.
Oh, good God.
Will Orgeron be a defensive analyst for Bama next year?
The line's 24.5 in that game. Bama might the Tennessee Bama game at Bama.
Wow. I mean, how do you bet against Bama?
Oof.
Hey, also, my over-under 3 with Vandy had a chance this week. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
They're currently 2-5, and they lost to South Carolina 21-20.
Damn it!
I didn't realize South Carolina was that terrible.
They're awful.
Really bad. But Missouri still plays, or Vandy still plays Missouri at home. So I could still get one there.
Okay, so here's a question for you guys right now. If we had last year's offensive line with this year's everything else, what do we look like?
We're 6-0.
I think it's hard to say you're not 6-0. I think you run the ball better against UC, and Cone's your quarterback all the time because he's got time to throw.
I also, though, you're not going to get me to say anything bad about Ian Book. So
No, I'd be cool with Ian Book being our quarterback too. I didn't want to say the whole thing, but I was going to say if we get last year's O-line and Ian Book, are we talking national title, us in Georgia?
potentially, but I still don't think we would beat Georgia.
No, I think last year's team with the same offensive. If both teams have the same offensive line, and last year's team plays this year's team, last year's team wins by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I like last year's team a lot.
Ugh. It's hard for me to say that.
I don't even think it's close.
I think if you give Cohn some time, I like our receivers this year a lot better.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what if Book could have had a healthy Braden Lindsey and Kevin Austin across from like not just having Stefferson and what's his name? Ron McKinley.
Oh.
Because it was McKinley and Skoranek together. If they played one position and then Lindsey and Austin played the other side of the receiver, I think it'd be an interesting combo. And I think that's what it was supposed to be, but injuries didn't let it happen.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about our defense? I think last year's defense was better than this defense.
Yeah, without a doubt.
No doubt.
I think it was more sound. I think this year's defense is more big play oriented.
Yeah.
Turnovers and sacks, but they're also more.
I think last year's team would have beat this team pretty good.
Yeah, straight up. If they had the same offensive line on both teams, I think it's a close game. Straight up though, last year's team.
I'm saying if they both have the same offensive line, last year's team beats the shit out of them.
I don't think so. I think this year's team plays with them.
I think, I don't know.
I just don't think last year's team could score points very well.
This year's team can't either.
Well, I think it's an offensive line problem.
That's fair.
Maybe.
Because if you could run the ball, it'd be a different story.
Exactly. And if Jack Cohn could have some time, he might not look like such a pud.
Yeah. That's fair.
I'm still saying 3 touchdowns last year's team.
It's going up as we sit here.
I'm sticking by it.
If we talk for another 10 minutes, last year's team is going to beat this year's team 28-17. So by 11 points, and Book's going to throw for 6 touchdowns.
Here's the hard part. Here's a hard question for you. 2018 versus 2015. Tough one.
2015 week 1 or 2015 week 12?
Let's go 2015 week 1 versus 2018 Syracuse week.
2015.
I agree. I think that's the most talented team that Kelly's ever had, talent-wise.
Yeah, I think you're right. They just got depleted.
Too many injuries.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Hey, man. Doesn't matter. It's USC week. We're in 2021. Let's just roll them this week.
Let's whoop them.
Don't forget USC sucks.
Irish by 17 with 7 touchdowns.
Yep, exactly.
Take us away, Rob.
Hey, everybody have a good week. Beat Trojans. See ya.